Kia ora, welcome back. In this video, we're going to do a rapid fire Q&A based on the same 20 questions that was done, whereby I did a video that went for nearly an hour. So we'll try and do these ones in a much shorter period of time. First question, is it true that you can complete SAS Selection and still not be chosen for the cycle? Yes, that's true. Why is that, if that is true? Well, it could be any number of things. In terms of your attitude, or how you communicate, how you turn up, how you show up, your dress and bearing, all of those things play a part into you completing and passing the selection. It's not just your ability to be able to pass or complete all the physical aspects of the selection course itself. So that's that one. Next one, is it true that SAS Selection is 90% mental and only 10% physical? The simple truth to that one is that it's both. You need both mental and physical. If you think you can go on there with just having a really strong mindset, visualizing, and you'll be good, you'll turn up, you'll be unprepared, you'll be wrong. So you need both. Prepare physically. That will help strengthen and sharpen you mentally. Next one. Do the SAS instructors try to break you on purpose during selection? The SAS instructors will look to try to plant seeds of doubt in your mind. They will tell you that you're not doing well. They will tell you that you're not good enough. They will ask you, why are you here? You're not even going to pass anyway. They'll say a whole bunch of things. Are they trying to break you? Yeah, possibly. I didn't look at it that way. They're testing you, and they want to see how badly you want to be there. Will a few words cause you to quit, or will you stick it out? So we'll leave it there on that one. I've heard there's a secret pass rate that the SAS sticks to. Only a set number get in. Is that true? No, that's not true. There is no secret pass rate that the SAS sticks to, and they don't have a set number or a magic number in mind for each selection when it comes up. Not in NZ or in Australia. I can't speak for the British one, so don't ask me about that one. Next one, is it true that you can't do selection again if you quit? No, that's not true. If you struggle and you are unable to complete selection during that time that you're on, or that particular course, and you withdraw, you will probably have a stand down period before you can reapply and go again. But you can go again, or you can apply to go again. Does the SAS really look for a specific personality type over physical ability? Again, the unit looks for both. You need to have the physical attributes and qualities to be able to perform under pressure in that job, as well as a personality and attitude and a mindset that complements your physical ability. If you're a Lincoln bodybuilding Adonis, but your attitude, your mindset doesn't match that, so say it's not as strong as what you appear to be, then you're not going to last. There's been many people who are much bigger, much stronger than I could ever hope to be, who end up quitting on the first day or second day. So it takes both, and you want to have a good foundation of both in terms of how you present for selection. I heard that selection courses are rigged and they already know who they want before it starts. No, they're not rigged. No, they don't already know who they want before it starts. They want people that are committed to being there and serving in the unit, and that know what they're volunteering and signing up for. Do people really get removed from selection for reasons other than failure, like personality clashes or attitude? Attitude, probably, but even then, if your attitude is poor, they're likely not going to kick you off selection unless it's like really out the gate ridiculous. But if your attitude has been consistently showing that it's not what they're after, but you don't quit, well, they'll more than likely let you stay on there and carry on. You get all the way to the end, go in front of the panel. Well done, completing the selection. Unfortunately, you're deemed not suitable to progress for the cycle of training. So, and personality clashes, possibly. I never experienced it, but I do know that there are strong personalities within the unit, and there are also strong personalities that come on to selection and through cycle. And if you are a candidate looking to be selected so that you can make it into the unit, and if your personality and the way that you communicate doesn't match well with one or some of the instructors, it's going to stand out, and you will be fighting an uphill battle. That's my opinion based on what I've seen. Other people that have experienced that, personality clashes is why they didn't get selected. That may be true. I have seen those potential challenges, issues, let's say. So that's that one. Hopefully that helps. Maybe not. I've got a mate who said he got kicked off selection. Yeah, I did a short on this one for asking a question. Will you get kicked off? No, you won't. I've never heard of anybody getting kicked off selection for asking a question or for even asking multiple questions. Okay, so I think I said in there your mate was full of caca. Next one. How did you train for sleep deprivation? I love my sleep. That's right, I remember this one. How do you function properly at work if you're not getting enough sleep? Do not go and start trying to deprive yourself of sleep, especially if you are working a full-time job. It doesn't matter where you are. You don't need to be working a full-time job in the army. You could be working a full-time job in hospitality or in customer service or whatever it is. Regardless, if you're traveling to and from work, especially if you're taking your own transport, do not practice sleep deprivation because you're wanting to try to prepare for selection. Same if you're in the military, don't do that. When that time comes on selection, you'll either be there or you won't. Okay, so don't practice that. How did you function I didn't practice sleep deprivation, so I like to think I was fine because I wasn't trying to practice going without sleep. I've heard that on the SAS Selection, the final test march, yeah, he means the 60 clicker is longer than they tell you. Is that true? I don't know. We were told that it was 60 kilometers. I wasn't pacing it. I haven't gone back over the route. I wouldn't know. I can't remember where it is now anyway. It's that long ago. Haven't gone back over the route. Don't remember where the exact start point was and where the exact finish point was. So I couldn't tell you. It could be longer. It could be less. One thing I'll say is if you get to that point or anybody that makes it to that point, there's 60 kilometers between you and the finish line and you in completing and or hopefully passing the selection. So suck it up and get through it. Do they ever tell you if you're doing well during selection? And if not, why not? No, they don't. I've never heard of any instructors telling candidates that they're going well or encouraging them. Why not? Because you need to be self-motivated. You need to want to be there. You need to find it within yourself to push yourself. You should have a reasonably good idea as to whether or not you're doing well or not. And if you don't, if you think you're doing terrible, you may be doing better than what you think, or you may be doing terrible. So no, they don't. Why not? They need to see you pushing and driving yourself. I've heard that some of the hardest parts of selection involve making difficult moral decisions. Is that true? Not sure what you mean. I would need more information, but in my conversation with regards to the individual about moral decisions, it's in regards to instructions that you're given. One that I used was you come up at the time, you weren't allowed to climb any fences with your pack on. You had to take it off, put it over the fence, then climb up and over, then put your pack on, then go. You will need to make tactical decisions during selection, especially if you think you are behind time and if you need to make up time. Don't be blatant about it. So if you can see instructors there watching and you decide to just ignore the instructions that have been given to you and climb over a fence, as an example, with your pack on, without taking it off, placing it over, climbing over, then putting it on, then taking off again, well, it's probably not going to go down very well. Your lack of awareness is going to stand out and you're going to have a spotlight put on you. So moral decisions, life and death, no. You're going to need to make some tactical decisions with regards to what you're doing, how you think you're progressing, so that you can hopefully pass the selection. Cool. I've heard the selection process is designed to make you quit rather than fail. Pretty much, yes. Most people self-withdraw from selection rather than being told that they've failed and removed off the course. So, yeah. How fit do you need to be to pass selection? You need to be fit enough to pass all the components, all the standard testing that needs to happen, and fit enough to be able to get through the rest of selection and the last parts of selection so that you can be standing at the end, hopefully completed it, and then hopefully getting the tick in the box to say you've been deemed suitable to go into cycle. So that's what you need to do. Figure out what those tests are, find out what those tests are. It's not hard. And then get to work. I heard that the British SAS Selection course is the hardest out of all the selection courses. Is that true? Maybe. I don't know. I haven't done it. I've only done the New Zealand one, the Australian one. I did a video about that one where I shared my thoughts on which one was harder. I haven't done the British one. If you ask any of the Brits, they'll probably tell you yes. If you ask the Aussies, they'll probably tell you their one's harder. If you ask the Kiwis, they'll probably tell you their one's harder. I don't know. I'm guessing here. But I know a number of Kiwis that have done the New Zealand SAS selection, smashed or passed it, got it in, been badged, sued as operators, have gone on and over to the UK. Some of them are still there now and smashed the selection. I don't know if they smashed it, but they passed the selection and they've gone on to serve. So, they're all hard at the end of the day. Did you have any friends on your selection course and did any of them quit or did you both pass? Had friends on both selection courses in New Zealand and Australia. The friends that I joined the army with, unfortunately, they quit, and a couple that I was really good friends with who were already in the battalion before I got there also quit. And then I became friends with those that I'd passed selection with and then went on to cycle with. Those in Australia had a good group, had a couple of really close friends. We were on the same selection. We passed, we were deemed suitable, went on to the cycle. We passed cycle together and went on from there. So, yep. Why is there such a big difference in the length of the selection courses for New Zealand and Australia? You could throw the UK in that mix as well. I don't know why the length of the courses are so different. They're two or three different countries, and clearly they've worked out a process that meets their needs so that they can find the candidates who meet the criteria over that period of time. Australia, 21 days, 3 weeks. New Zealand was a 5 or 6 day barrier test, 5 or 6 day pre-selection plus 9 to 10 days testing. The UK, from what I understand, it's 6 months selection, and that incorporates the courses that New Zealand and Australia would do on our what we call the cycle of training. So, yeah, it's that one. What is the hardest physical aspect of the New Zealand SAS selection? For me, it was the sand dunes. And what is the hardest physical aspect of the Australian SAS selection? For me, I said it was lucky dip in the combination of all the different activities. But if I had to put down one particular activity where I really struggled, there was a river crossing that we were doing, and we had to do the flotation device with our gear using our hoochie. And the hoochie that I had, that I'd bundled everything up in, was leaking. It started to go down underwater. My weapon is there on top of it. It's got my weapon, but now it's pulling me down. And thankfully, actually, it was one of my really close friends that I was on selection with in Australia. We were both in Recce Platoon 4RL when we went on it. We just happened to be in that same group during the lucky dip stage. He stuck back with me and then helped me. So he was there beside me, helped hold my pack. His one was floating okay. And then I just needed to keep kicking. That whole time, I remember people on the Zodiac, or a few fellas on the Zodiac boat, staff members, giving me some stick and basically, yes, asking me if I wanted to get in the boat, if I wanted to quit, all of those sorts of things. So, yeah, that would have been the hardest sort of individual aspect, although it wasn't hard. It was just bloody an embuggerance because my pack started sinking and I needed to keep that up whilst getting across this river crossing. But thanks to my mate who was there, it made it so that I could get across there to the other side and then cracked on with the rest of the selection. And how do you prepare mentally for the SA selection? Yeah, combination. There's been a couple of questions sort of similar, or maybe not similar, but you need to prepare physically and mentally, know what you're signing up for, know why you're wanting to go there. And then when you prepare physically, that also helps sharpen things up here mentally as well. And that will help you prepare. So do hard things, train, be disciplined, be committed, turn up to do your exercise, or turn up to do your training, even when you're tired, even when you don't feel like it. If you're sore, if you're hungry, you can modify and adjust things. It's not gas every single time. It's not 110% every single time. You need to still listen to your body. Yes, recovery, but don't go finding excuses or using the recovery route if you're just being too lazy. So that's that. That's the quick fire in terms of the questions that we did before and a shortened version. So hopefully that helps, and keep smashing. Until the next video.